right, let's talk about setting up your TextEdit if you're a Mac user for the project. So I'm just going to make a new document, and right now it's just set up as an untitled. So if I were to go ahead, and save as, let's call this, well, I guess your first project is headings. So let's just call it headings. Whenever I close this, you're going to notice you have a couple different options under here. One of them actually is going to be for the .html. So let's go ahead and hit save. And it's going to go on my desktop as the .html. And I'm just going to close this and open it up. You're going to notice what happens. Whenever I did that, it's going to, for how mine is set up, open up in my browser for Safari. So, to make sure that yours can do this, let's just go ahead and hit TextEdit. You can just click it in so you can see it. It adds all the extra code. We will talk about that later. But if yours is not showing up this way, under our preferences, there's an extra pop-up menu. So you can see, there's new document, there's open and save. You want to go to the open and save, where it says display the HTML files as HTML code instead of formatted text. All right, that is what we are looking for this. For our headings, and I'm just going to, whenever I work, and I'm going to make this bigger because I know it's hard to see on these screens, but I also want to be able to see that. Give me 1 second. I'll just make it bigger this way. There we go. So whenever we are working on this, you might need to make this part full screen so you can see it. I like to keep each of my sections sort of separate so I can say, all right, well, there's the start of the HTML, there's the end of the HTML, the head, the body. All right, so it's the body for your first project, because this was a little different than what we were looking at with our other project. So if we wanted to do our heading 1, and then we close it, so it's H1 and then close H1, caret, bracket H2, heading 2, close it, and I'll make this bigger at the end so you can see it, heading 3, H3, and I think I had you going up to 6 for this. Again, this is hard for me to do whenever I'm talking. All right, heading 5. Let's just stop here for the demo. So whenever I save it, and I'm going to close it and open it, it's going to show up as the heading 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 on our browsers. If you can't see it, just do a refresh, and then that way you're going to be able to see it from there. And I'm just going to close it out and then open it up. And you just open it up by click dragging into it. Just so that you can see the code. You can pause this next part once I make it a little bit bigger. What we are interested in, I'm not even sure how to change the size in TextEdit. Let's just zoom it. There we go. All right, so what we are looking for our project or exercise 1 is the heading 1 through 6, where you have your opener of H1, closer of H1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's go ahead and just do the 6th one while we're here and enlarge. So H6, heading 6, close H6. And then whenever we save it, and is that still in my Safari, and refresh it, Command R, we can see our heading 6 shows up. So whenever I'm working, I like to leave my browser up, and then I just do refreshes just in case, something happens, and if I can catch it right after I've done something instead of letting it escalate, that's a little bit better. So for your first exercise, we're going to explore headings, lists, both unordered and ordered. Follow what we were doing within, I think I had you through the Code Academy for that one. Practice some hand coding, and then we will continue forth on our exercises.